Angela, they let me talk to real people.
Press 4 to break my heart. Oh wait, you already did.
Visit allofiber.com to switch today.
In today's digital world, you can never be too cautious when it comes to your security. Cyber attacks are affecting more businesses every day. At Hamilton Business Technologies, we understand the stress and impact a cyber attack can have, not just on your bottom line, but on your ability to serve your customers and protect their trust. That's why we are passionate about safeguarding your business. From real-time threat monitoring to advanced security protocols, we help keep your data safe, allowing you to focus on what matters most. Hamilton Business Technologies. Real people, real technology solutions. Connect with us at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Step into healing at Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery. Our team of top-notch medical professionals turns pain into progress with state-of-the-art treatments and compassionate care. Visit prairieortho.com and discover the difference in quality orthopedic and plastic surgery services tailored to your unique needs. Your health matters, and Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery is dedicated to helping you thrive. Reach your full potential. Embrace a better tomorrow with Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery.
The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeyman electricians from $32.50 to $42.50 per hour with paid benefits. And if you're looking for a new career, they're hiring apprentices at $19.50 per hour with paid benefits. Call the office at 402-423-4497 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
A new year means it's time to try new things. If you haven't tried Fierce Cheese Spread yet, the time is now. For the days you don't want to go to the gym, don't worry. Fierce Cheese Spread is there to cheer you up. And for the days you do get to the gym, why not celebrate when you get back with the best dip around? Get to your local grocery store today and load up on Fierce Cheese Spread. No event or party is complete without it on your table. Salt Mine City is not only Lincoln's newest brewery, but they're also now serving food. Enjoy a full menu of great items daily for lunch and dinner, like their peanut butter and jelly burger with bacon and cheddar cheese, or a Reuben sandwich served on Blackstone rye bread. Don't forget their beef or chicken nachos with guacamole, sour cream, jalapenos, and more. Wash it down with one of their 12 beers on tap, including the popular Single Axle Light American Lager. Salt Mine City, now open 11 a.m. every day but Mondays at 8th and R.
Welcome into Fitness Fanatics on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Now here are your hosts, Jeff and Nicole Essig.
All right, welcome into the Fitness Fanatics. It is Sunday, February 16th, and football season is officially over. Are you depressed, Harrison?
No, that ended a long time ago for me, to be honest.
Let me guess. It ended on October 28th when Washington threw a Hail Mary to beat Chicago, right?
No, it ended after we beat the crap out of the Packers.
Oh, okay.
And then it ended. Then it was over.
Oh, sure.
And I say that. We won by 3, just
There we
barely
go.
with the field goal.
Hey, that's okay.
It's a win.
There you go.
It's a win. All right, so just do a quick little
Harrison, the stream was working. You did it. Yay. Okay.
You know what the magic is I don't know what the hell
I know.
do to make it.
I know.
So for all those, who
Whatever
have
you
problems
did
with
today,
the Facebook.
do it again.
Yeah, apologies. I can't understand why sometimes it goes purely on the story and other times it works like it properly should.
I know.
Goes on the page. But you guys can watch streams, Facebook, YouTube, X, Al, Channel 961, as well as join in 402-464-5685. Sorry, him and text line as always.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, so we have a game to play.
Oh, we are playing this game?
Yeah, we got to finish
Is
this one.
Oh, we're finishing it?
Yeah, because we need people to help, clearly, because you guys can't do it by yourself.
Is not one we can start from scratch?
No, I want to finish this one. Plus,
Got it.
Harrison said he knows.
I cheated, so I'm not going to say
Harrison.
I didn't look up. It might not be the right
Wait.
one.
I was going to tell you not
who's
to
the
look
fourth
it up.
AFC South team?
No, we got to tell the rules first.
We'll
Okay.
tell the rules first.
Okay.
We have Andrea, Jeff's sister, is back after this segment. Just so stay tuned if you're not a football fan, but you all are a mental health and
fan.
how, yeah, and you want to learn more about how your brain works against you when you're trying to reach goals.
Which I'm excited about that
and-
because
yeah.
we have a lot of I've noticed this over 12 years of doing ferals, and I say this, and we've even had some people this time, like whenever we start something positive, in our lives. Well, ferals would be one thing.
Something else goes wrong.
You get sick.
Yeah.
Like that happens, not just this in the winter.
Or how we just sabotage ourselves.
The spring, summer. It really, that's just how it is. Whenever you're like, oh, things are going good, this and that. And then it's like, well, yeah.
So Andrea will be back. If you tuned in a couple weeks ago, we had a lot of people that really enjoyed having Andrea on. So we have her on again this today in the next segment. But first,
let's get this trivia. I want to get this.
So there's a game you're probably most of you familiar with called Wordle. Well, there's also one called Weddle, which is after who? What's his name?
Eric Weddle.
Eric Weddle. It's a football version of Wordle, and our son is incredible at it because he has an 18-year-old brain that's not full of like life things yet, and so he just has sports stats in his head.
That's how my brain is. Still.
Yeah, but I thought you were good, but Ben is way better. We were doing it. I mean, I don't know how he knows all this stuff.
You hit an age where you just peak knowledge of sports.
That is Ben
like
right
when you
now.
get into it, 'cause it's like senior year of high school, I just sit like write down every NBA team, all 5 starters. Like there's a certain age where you just see
it's insane.
Unreal level of sports.
Even this Weddle game, there's a lot of versions. Like and actually I helped contribute because there's also a Heisman version, and my first guess was Eric Crouch. But it was not Eric Crouch, but they were from Nebraska, so then we were able to get the next one. So I contributed to that.
Johnny
one.
Rogers.
It was Johnny Rogers. Was that Weddle, the Heisman Weddle? Anyway, so it's like Wordle, but so you basically pick a football player, and then you have to start like narrowing down who it is based off of the conference.
Oh, I know it. I know the answer.
Okay, their division, position, height, age, and number. Anyway,
I have the answer.
Okay, well, I gotta catch up the listeners. Calm down. So the first game we played, I guessed Aaron Rodgers first, just because it's in alphabetical order, and I just picked him. So that was not right, but it did tell us they were in the AFC, not East, but in the AFC. Then Jeff guessed James Cook, and that told us that it was a running back, but not in the East because he wasn't listening to me the first time. And then
she's like, it's not the AFC East. I'm like, oh, James Cook. Oh, wait, he's in the AFC East. Never mind. My bad.
Start him in text line. Put out your guess as she reading these 3.
Right. So then he guessed Joe Mixon, which told us, yes, this person is in the AFC South and they're a running back. But they're also shorter than 6'1", younger than 28, and their number is lower than 28.
Oh, I mean, I know the answer right now.
Well, yeah, you know now. You didn't, though, before we came into the studio. Then you guessed Tony Pollard, and that
was a good guess.
That is a good guess.
That told us, yes, AFC South, running back, 6 foot. That told us that. And then you picked Travis Etienne
from the Jags.
Jr.
Is another running back.
And that was also right, except he's 26. And then that told us the player is 26. So listeners, because Jeff and Harrison apparently know now.
I don't know. We're going to find out.
But so start thinking about who you think is in the AFC South that's a running back that's 26. What's your guess, Jeff?
Jonathan Taylor.
That was going to be my second guess.
Oh, okay. Well, if that's not Jonathan Taylor, then
I think it might be. I don't know how tall he is, though. That's the one thing throwing me off.
It's not Jonathan Taylor.
Damian Pierce?
Okay. Then we'll
Damian Pierce might be about 26 or a little younger. He might be just too young.
Now we're getting into the backups.
Yeah.
The backup running
This is where your NFL knowledge is tested.
Wrong.
Yeah.
You both are wrong. You have
young.
one more guess. So if any listeners, there's 8 guesses. Yeah. So he is
26-year-old backup
he's 24.
running back.
He's young. Damian.
So it's 2 years off.
Yeah.
I thought that
And
was
Jonathan Taylor is only 5'10", Jeff.
So we're at a backup running back in the NFC South.
AFC South.
Not NFC.
Yeah.
AFC South. So you're looking at Titans, Colts, Texans, Jags.
Yep.
And it's a backup, maybe even third string.
Crowbait, come on. You don't know. You know Crowbait's listening.
So
somebody comment.
ETN from Jacksonville was out for
Who's the backup? Who's the backup
time.
for the Jags?
That's what I was trying to think. Yeah, Ben would know.
We play this with my son plays this, and he knows these immediately. He's
knows
very
the
good at it.
Ben's an animal.
I know.
It's crazy.
We should have him on just to play, just so he can show you guys how it's done.
Have him call in on the Hunt of Lincoln hotline.
He's
Well,
sleeping.
he
I'm sure.
So nobody's guessing.
Okay.
I'm not. You can look up the roster. I'm going to see if I have
Cheaters.
a miracle.
Cheaters.
Go ahead. You can guess.
I can't think of who the backups are for the.
So you know for a fact it's a
Jags.
backup because there's
we went through all the starters, right?
Joe Mixon, Tony Pollard, Travis Etienne,
Travis Etienne, yeah. Those-
Jonathan Taylor, Damian Pierce.
Oh.
Those are the only starters in the
We do
whole
have a guess.
well, the
South?
AFC South. There's
Okay.
4 teams.
We
I
do.
don't know. I don't.
Oh, okay.
We do have a guess.
I don't care that much.
Did you hear me?
Yeah, I heard you. I'm waiting to type it.
But you didn't say.
I-
What is
look,
it?
I'm waiting.
You just ignored me.
I was active listening.
All right.
Oh,
so here's
okay.
our guess. This is it.
Okay,
Might
this is our
be-
last
might be
shot.
the right age.
Who
From
is it?
Sam Donlin, Tank Bigsby.
Okay, you are our only hope.
For the shot. I got
And-
nothing.
No, that was wrong. The answer was Trey Sermon.
Oh.
How is anybody supposed to get that?
Ben
You
would've-
know what? If you guys knew
Ben
that,
would have got it.
shout out. I
Ben
was nowhere
would've-
near.
Now, here's how my brain works. Now, I didn't know that, but I can tell you 2 things. Trey Sermon played at both Oklahoma and Ohio State.
Oh,
Tank-
okay, there we go.
How's that for you?
Tank Bigsby is way too young. Is he young?
He's got to be. I
Yeah.
don't remember him too
He
long.
was way too young. It says he was 22.
Okay.
So, and his number is number 4, and this person's number was I don't higher than that.
That's a bummer. I thought I cracked it with Pierce. I thought for sure.
But good
Years off.
guesses.
You think they'd have starters in there?
Well, yeah, I mean,
I mean, Trey Sermon's
you
like
got
third
people like
string.
Ben playing. That's too easy.
I don't even
You
know
got-
who Trey Sermon plays for right now in the NFL.
He's probably
Like I
flirting
said.
between practice squad or
I do know he played for Oklahoma and Ohio State in college. I would take that to the bank. Trey Sermon plays. Let's see, here's Oklahoma.
Okay, let's do one more.
Plays for the Colts.
Let's do one more. So,
So we're starting from scratch.
yeah, we're
now,
starting from
Harrison.
scratch. You got a brand new clean slate. So one of you just give me a player, a NFL player. You got to start with some. Just a
Caleb
guess.
Williams.
I
That's
knew.
what I was gonna say.
I knew it. I was almost going to just type it in. Okay, so we have nothing to go off of. They are not in the NFC at all.
Well,
It
that's
is-
good.
It is not a quarterback.
Well, those are things.
Right. And they are, well, yeah. They are taller than 6'1" and younger than 23.
So not a quarterback in the AFC.
Not a quarterback in the NFC.
and in the NFC.
Not a quarterback in the NFC North or NFC.
And what was the age one more time?
Younger than 23.
So you're younger than 23, not a quarterback in the AFC.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
You're right.
You think that? Well, you said Caleb Williams.
Yeah. Well, hold on. I just
pick a
want
different
to. We had a
quarterback.
text that I want to correct this. So
Okay.
Texter said, "You don't know who Trey Sermon plays for because he doesn't play." Well, in 2024, Trey Sermon had 56 carries, 159 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns for the Indianapolis Colts.
Interesting.
Oh, so he
Okay.
did have a nice little run there.
Yeah.
Okay. So it wasn't too obscure.
No, it wasn't 2. So he had
We'll have to ask
56
Ben if he
carries.
got it because I think it's a daily thing.
Okay, so now
So give me another non-quarterback in the AFC. Basically, right?
Harrison, go ahead. Non QB in the AFC.
Okay, give me Damian Pierce this time.
This one's his name is spelled weird. Okay, hold on.
Just
Mhm.
riveting radio.
All we know is they're in the AFC South, also not a running back or a quarterback.
Oh,
AFC
wide. So
South.
wide
Back to-
receiver in the AFC South, huh?
We're back.
Let's do who's that receiver that just got traded to the Titans that was he gambled and he was suspended for a year. Remember him?
Also,
I'm thinking of Terry Rozier, NBA gambling.
Terry Rozier.
also, yeah,
Oh
listeners, type in if you have any guesses.
These are all
Watch
just going to
the
be in the
text line.
AFC South.
No.
Well, I know, but these bet last.
Oh,
two
this
have
one,
been.
yes. Yeah, you're right.
We're looking at one of the worst divisions in
How
football.
about we do Tank Dell?
There you go.
He's a receiver.
I mean, you get 8 guesses, so you have
That's
to
true.
like. There is a certain. He's not even on here. How does it spelled?
Tank.
No, there's only one Tank, and we already guessed them last
Oh.
time.
What kind of a contraption game is this?
What's his last?
He's a
How's his last
receiver.
name spelled?
DELL.
No, there's nobody. It says no option.
Is it older? Tyler Boyd. Just throw it in there.
Older.
I know
This
he's in the
person is
AFC
younger
South.
than 24. It's a youngster.
How old is that? No way.
Who's the really good Texans receiver? Not Diggs, but the other one that's really good.
Or maybe older. I guess I don't know for sure what up means for 24. It
This
says
is our
24
this
and
is
there's
our
an
game
arrow.
player.
Who
Oh, I
did
don't
you-
know. He could be older than 24.
I've never played this before.
Could be younger than 20. I really don't know.
Who did you guess? We'll just guess. Stop cheating, Harrison.
Oh, I'm not gonna guess these. I'm leaving them out here.
Who did
this
you
is
just
this
guess?
is riveting radio.
Who did
I mean,
you
it
just
is.
guess?
I said Boyd.
Okay.
Tyler Boyd. I think he's way older though.
All right. Well, we'll see once and for all. Okay, so we did get a lot of good information. It's not Tyler Boyd, but they do play for Tennessee, and they are a wide receiver.
Oh,
and
that's
they are 6'2".
Westbrook. He has 2 last names. Westbrook something or other. You know what I'm talking about?
No, because the only wide receiver I remember about Titans is Hopkins. He's a Chief now.
No, I know exactly who
Nick
that is.
Westburn.
Yep. Yep.
Oh, shoot. I just did the wrong.
That's got to be it. Because he's got to be.
Yep. That
There
was
we
right.
go, Jeff.
See?
Atta boy.
Got your dub for the day. You guys got to start work. That was normal mode. Ben plays in hard mode.
Yeah, well, let's go to the NBA. And then
Well,
we'll have
he's
some real-
young. You know, speaking of NBA, that there's a guy who won the slam dunk contest for the 3rd year in a row. I've never heard of him
Mac McClung?
until yesterday.
That's his whole bid.
Wow.
Guess what his NBA career earnings are?
I have no idea.
125K roughly. What do you think his NBA dunk contest earnings are?
It's like 100.
350K. He's made more in dunk contests than he has just on his NBA.
So he's just the
contracts.
12th guy then for the Magic. Like he never
No,
plays.
they literally just call him for the dunk contest.
So he's like on the D League or G League or whatever.
I don't even know if he's on the G League. Dunk contest is not what it used to be.
None of those. I mean, I used to love the 3-point shootout and the dunk contest and Dominique Wilkins and Spud Webb and Michael Jordan. I mean, that was like, as a kid, that was just awesome. Now it's just, I'm going to jump over a car. And
Well, I'll say
all
LeBron
this
James
stuff.
was the first superstar to kind of stiff arm it. And then that wasn't cool anymore because like Mike did it, Kobe did it. I think every great superstar did it at least once, you know, not saying they did it every year.
Yeah.
And then LeBron era just never happened.
Remember Vince Carter coming from the baseline under his leg dunk? I mean, so I remember some
I
of
don't
those.
remember it. I remember watching YouTube highlights of it.
Well, that's true. I guess. Oh my gosh. I don't really
It's
care about the
uninteresting. And then the
All-Star.
skills competition. That is CP3 and Victor got disqualified because they just were clearly not trying the skills because it's just not fun for fans or players, I don't think.
And the All-Star game used to be good. I mean, I used to love watching that.
But they used to
as a kid.
compete.
Yeah.
They used to be like pretty about it on who had the better conference, the West or East. And that's all just now everybody's just kind of buddy. So
Yeah, Jesse
Yeah.
Texan says you're thinking of times when the NBA was watchable.
yeah. And I'm, that's such a large sentiment. I can't even like tell you're wrong because there's a good chunk of the population feels that way now.
Yeah. Even like, I don't know, I guess because my team's been so bad for the last 6 years, I haven't really cared all that much. But
Yeah. Well, and even when they're good, the thing that sucks now, and I don't know, this isn't like an Adam Silver's fault, but like what Steph Curry did with the 3-point shot did somewhat break the NBA a little bit. Like you can have a 20-point cushion and like you could still lose. Like nothing ever feels good anymore. You can be dominating a team and they get hot from 3, and then all of a sudden it's just a game where they're just really hot from 3, and that's all they're doing is taking shots from the perimeter, and they're back in it. And then sometimes they pull off the upset, and it's like, okay, I guess they deserve to win, but it just feels
right.
It just feels like there's no lead safe anymore, and you can still be a dominant team, but yeah, it's
almost who's hitting the threes and who's not.
Well, you remember we go to the playoffs now, and like you're gonna see, oh, okay, Mavericks won this matchup. Geez, they won by 25. They're gonna pull a sweep out. Then you go to the next one, it's like, oh man, they lost by 12. Oh wait, they won again by 20. And it's 3-point shooting. It's like whichever team's gonna shoot 50% from 3. And that's probably the worst part about it.
Isn't that Nebraska basketball, men's basketball too, though? Haven't they been kind of that way?
They've been doing a lot better at getting points in the paint.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They've been.
I just
bread and
mean
butter
by
a lot
like
more.
they lose the ones they should win and they win the ones that they thought they were going to lose.
The college
Is
basketball.
that basketball? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, usually who's shooting well is usually going to win, typically. But gosh, it's tough. Like you just look at the women's team. Like of course, I'm not going to go to another game at PBA this year because I went to see the women versus Iowa, and we just didn't play well at all.
Yeah, but you went to the opener.
Yeah, but that didn't count. It was just
still did count.
I know. But then a few days later, they go on the road to number 17 Maryland, and they're up by 25 with like 3 minutes left.
That was cool.
I mean, like, where was that team when I was there watching? It was completely different. But, it's tough to keep, 18 to 22-year-olds up there, consistent, night in, night out, playing basketball, playing football even.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I still remember back in 2017 when Iowa beat Urban Meyer and Ohio State, like 52-17. Just a total obliteration of Ohio State. I mean, it was one of the greatest moments in Iowa history, right? I mean, they just first play was a pick 6 for Iowa. Then the very next week they go to Wisconsin and they have like 20 yards of offense. Like, it's just so hard to be at the top every single game. I mean, that's why you see upsets and, kids, it's hard.
Yeah, I mean, we just saw, Nebraska baseball knock off. They're 24 today, and obviously, rest in peace, Greg Sharp. It was just awesome that they also won that game yesterday versus they lost to UC Irvine.
Yeah, UC Irvine, and then they beat Vanderbilt.
That's right. And
yesterday.
Vanderbilt was ranked 16
right
in the rankings. And Nebraska, they got that one. I think it was 5-10. They won convincingly as well.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're sitting 24 ranked. So, yeah, it's especially when we're talking college.
Right.
In colleges, and maybe that's why I think a lot of people who used to like the NBA or watch a lot more college ball, like even myself, I find myself watching more college hoops because I don't know, there's something about the chaos to it that's a little more, and there's a lot more physicality, I feel like, because you're seeing guys go all out. NBA, they're kind of thinking about load management, 82 game regular season.
Mm-hmm.
College basketball, it's a short season, so even though it's not always the prettiest, they're going all out every time.
Right. There is no really load management.
No, they have to play.
Yeah.
Like they absolutely need to, because it's you got to get those wins and get yourself as nice as you can before March Madness comes.
So just have a couple minutes here before break. Any final thoughts on the Super Bowl? Like for us at our house, Nicole went to bed after halftime. My daughter went to bed in the
first 2 drives in the third quarter. And then
like everybody's, I even went to bed with 9 minutes left. Like it wasn't exciting. I think we've been spoiled like the last.
You didn't find the exciting whites exciting?
No. Like exciting, like down to the final. Like that's when I love watching sports, is when it's like down to the final couple plays and it's like who's gonna make a play, who's not. That's what I love about sports, and down to the final minutes. So, but this was just kind of like
when the third quarter, when the Eagles came out and just immediately went back to work.
That's when I went to bed.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought, because Tom Brady did it once, so you're always like, oh, maybe. And
well,
it just wasn't happening.
And again, it goes to show, like, look at the Super Bowls that Brady lost with the Giants. I just remember that the season that they were 17-0, like, or 18-0 going to the Super Bowl. I don't even know if you remember that. You're pretty young, but like the Giants defensive line with Michael Strahan and Tuck and those guys, like they never had to blitz. They were on Brady. I mean, that was one of the highest scoring offenses in the history of the NFL with Randy Moss, and they just, I mean.
And this was one of the lowest scoring offenses we've seen from Chiefs in a while versus that defense.
Yeah.
And it's kind of similar to like the same way Tom Brady beat Mahomes. Tom Brady didn't actually beat him, but the Buccaneers defense did.
Any
just took him out of the game completely.
As you're watching Jalen Carter, where you're thinking, geez, the Bears could have
my gosh,
took Jalen Carter.
It's not all about the Bears.
It is actually.
It always goes full circle.
Always.
But they could have took Jalen Carter, but they traded that pick to the Eagles, and the Eagles took Carter, and we took our lineman, which Wright, I think Darnell Wright.
Yeah, Darnell Wright. Our line's so bad. We need to fix that. It's just. I don't know. It's awful. That's probably the first thing we got to fix. I mean, everything else is there. We don't need to turn this into a Bears segment.
No,
just about to start talking about the Bears offense
to break. But we also do want to end on a Husker high note because Jordy Ball pitched a no-hitter.
Oh, that's right. She did pitch a no-hitter.
First no-hitter in Nebraska softball history, which is awesome.
Yep. And we got both men's and women's basketball today, back to back, 2:00 at Northwestern, which I think is it's a critical game today. Like
1.5-point favorites heading into it.
It's a huge game.
Uh-huh.
Huge game. If they can, they should win this game, but gosh, going on the road in the Big Ten's tough. Even if Northwestern's like 16th in the comp, it doesn't matter.
We almost seem like a better road team this year.
We're getting there.
Like this second half of the season, we've been better on the road than we have been at home. Like even when we beat ranked Illinois, that was an ugly win at home. But shout out to the guys pulling it out. Like our best games in this half of the season have actually been on the road. So maybe that's why ESPN's like 1.5-point favorites. Like the rest have been playing well on the road. So hopefully that translates today.
Yeah. I think the women play at Illinois.
Yes.
Pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We do have a text. You might be able to answer this text from Bill and Bennett, because I'm not, I'm assuming this is a baseball player because I'm not, or do you know who this is, Harrison?
Yeah. I don't know. I can look up the update report real quick.
Let the rest of us know. I don't know what the text line says.
So any update on Tucker Timmerman from last night?
Okay.
It's Husker baseball.
Okay.
I'm trying to figure out. I'm not seeing anything right now. I'll look it up over the break. And if we have one, I'll just shoot a text. But yeah,
all right.
Not sure on Tucker Timmerman.
Well, we're going to go to break. Stay right with us. 93.7 The Ticket, the Fitness Fanatics.
Why are some people more successful? Is it talent and determination, or did they recognize an opportunity? Discover a career that lets you help families reach their financial goals as you build lasting professional relationships, one with unlimited income potential. From Modern Woodman, a leading fraternal financial services provider.
I'm Modern Woodman Regional Director Sean Erickson. Call me at 402-483-6515 to learn about career opportunities.
Modern Woodman of America. Touching lives, securing futures.
Raising little ones is a big job, and you do your best to give them a good start every day. That means making sure they're well cared for while you're apart. You work hard, but it's not always easy to make ends meet. There may be help. Find out if you qualify for Nebraska's Child Care Tax Credit for working parents. You could be eligible for a credit of up to $2,000 per child on your next tax return. Learn more at nebraskachildcaretaxcredit.org. Brought to you by First 5 Nebraska and Nebraska Children and Families Foundation and aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Hello.
Angela, we have to break up
But why?
because you're a robot and I'm just a guy trying to get better internet.
It's Aloe Fiber, isn't it? I always knew you wanted faster speeds. My contract isn't good enough for you.
Face it, Angela, they let me talk to real people.
Press 4 to break my heart. Oh wait, you already did.
Visit aloefiber.com to switch today.
A new year means it's time to try new things. If you haven't tried Fierce Cheese Spread yet, the time is now. For the days you don't want to go to the gym, don't worry. Fierce Cheese Spread is there to cheer you up. And for the days you do get to the gym, why not celebrate when you get back with the best dip around? Get to your local grocery store today and load up on Fierce Cheese Spread. No event or party is complete without it on your table.
With UBT, you've got total control over your money. Like Doug, who runs his game day tailgate like a well-oiled machine.
I got burgers, brats, chicken, dogs, plus all the fixins. And with the UBT Go app, I can track my food spending from anywhere.
Pro move.
They don't call me Grill Sergeant for nothing.
No matter your goals, UBT helps you feel good about reaching them. Union Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
Hi, it's Joel Norman, the voice of your Lincoln Stars hockey team. Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket to hear the latest on the Stars with myself, head coach Rocky Russo, and special player guests.
If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
We currently have a great inventory of homes that are completed or almost complete available right now that you could move in within 30 to 90 days.
Bob Benish is the founder and president of Aspen Builders, online at aspenbuildersinc.com.
In Woodside Village, which is in Northwest Lincoln, catty corner from the new Northwest High School, we have available homes right now that start in the lower 300s. Sod, sprinklers are included, all your kitchen appliances, brand new homes ready to go. A very accessible area, easy to get downtown, easy to get on the interstate. It's just a great location. Our designer has selected incredible finishes that will amaze you. Available homes right now that start in the lower 300s.
Call Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your dream home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize before participating in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the K&TK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Early break. Kevin says, the old days were absolutely not better times. Lots of hardships. Life in 2025 is better than ever. Oh, I love when we get these jokes back. I love good joke, good I love the joke. You're a good one. Good one, Kevin. You're hilarious, Kevin. You keep it up.
Early break from 6 to 8 every weekday morning on 93.7 The Ticket. Now back to Fitness Fanatics on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back to the Fitness Fanatics. So we are joined once again. I think this is the first time we've had like a guest on in back-to-back months
So fast, yeah.
in our 3-year history of doing this. But my sister was so popular on the show a month ago.
Members that really enjoyed it.
I mean, yeah, I even had one person ask how we were related, right?
Like, not how are you related, like how are
Yeah.
you related?
Yes, how are you?
It's a fair
How are
assessment.
you related?
Fair assessment. Yes, yes. So, and two, like Megan, who's one of our super fans, she was like, you know, your sister kept talking about stuff, and then she'd say, "Oh, that's a subject for another day."
Yes.
She's like, "What?
No.
Wait a minute. I need all this information." So we're like, "Well, let's have her back on."
It goes really fast. And if Jeff is involved, we will get derailed and
No, I'm focused.
inevitably not get everything in.
I'm focused. No,
Okay.
I do wanted to start, Andrea. How was the Super Bowl in the Duntley house?
Well, I was out of town. I think it's the first time I haven't watched the Super Bowl. So they went over to friends. You know, we have Cowboys fans in the house, so it's rough to cheer for the Eagles. However, none of us will cheer for the Chiefs.
Okay.
So
that's what we were wondering, if there was still going to be a divide or if you were all coming together for a common enemy, maybe.
we were all together against the Chiefs.
Mhm.
We were all pretty neutral towards the Chiefs until, you know, they started winning, and then everybody in Oklahoma is a Chiefs fan. But also, Reagan and I went to Arrowhead to see the Packers, and Jeff, I don't know if you remember, but I found out, or they were going to play. I'm like, why are we not going? I buy the tickets. The very next day, Aaron Rodgers has COVID.
Yeah.
Are you freaking
Yes.
kidding me? So,
what a bummer.
but the fans were awful. So I hold a grudge, I guess. And so
You heard it here, folks. Arrowhead's not all it's cracked up to be. We've heard that too from Chargers fans.
I actually,
too.
Hot take. I thought it was nice venue, and I'm not a Chiefs fan.
Yeah, but were you going to a Chiefs Bears game?
It was Chiefs Broncos.
Yeah, well, so you weren't as invested. What were you wearing? Were you wearing Broncos stuff?
I had to get
Okay.
in, otherwise they were going
All
to
right.
revoke my
To
ticket.
get in?
Yeah. Well, my brother Evans, you know,
Oh,
it was
okay.
one of those where
Yeah.
it's not going to work if I don't put on the
I
gear.
don't know. Chiefs Broncos is kind of like what Bears Packers used to be, though, too.
Oh yeah, they were mad because
Right.
this was the year that everybody, Russell Wilson's washed, blah blah blah. He's still a good quarterback. I don't care what you say. And he ran in for a touchdown. And one thing about Chiefs Nation, I cannot believe the disgust in Arrowhead Stadium just because Russell Wilson rushed in for one rushing touchdown.
Right.
It was like, oh, we suck so much on defense. I was like, relax. You guys will probably be number one. And sure enough, they went to the Super Bowl and won it that year. So that was my interaction with Chiefs fans at Arrowhead Stadium. Nice venue though.
And I think you'll find any stadium you go to, there's going to be fans that are just
There is.
like that.
It's kind of the luck of the draw of where you're sitting. That's 100% true.
I mean, it didn't happen at Lambeau. Just saying, the Cowboys fans were super welcomed there. My biggest thing was there were
really don't
adults that were like mocking my kid. Like, don't do that. Like, let my kid enjoy it. So,
Well, there was that
anyway.
Eagle fan too. I'm sure you guys saw that video.
That was getting
yeah,
on the
but
Packers
the
fan.
Eagles are
Yeah,
like
like-
notorious. They're proud of being terrible.
Yeah, which is
fans.
a crazy badge of honor,
is.
but all right.
I
go
would
for it.
never go.
And like, I would never say anything to an opposing fan. Like no.
You say a lot of when we went to that Iowa game 2 years ago, you were saying a lot of passive aggressive comments around Iowa fans.
To women and children.
I'm really glad you could spell Iowa.
Okay.
Really glad you know how to spell Iowa.
I was there. I'll tell you what.
The cheerleaders.
I have
no,
been,
the crowd chants it.
No, because
with
there's
them.
this. Hi. Oh.
It's like us go big red. It's annoying. I know.
It is. That's the same thing. But
you
so
just never made eye contact.
I did. I was like, I didn't say it too directly to people.
That's the passive.
How many beers deep are we? Is this playing a factor?
No.
I was fine.
Sober.
This was in Memorial Stadium. It was not when it was really cold. It was too cold to even drink. I don't think we.
I'll tell you, my lowest moments at Nebraska games has been when we played Iowa.
Oh,
because
I can see that.
I've seen 4 Iowa Nebraska games with my own 2 eyes, and 3 of the 4 we lost on a walk-off field goal, and the 4th one we had a big lead and just blew it in the 4th quarter.
Yes, we've heard
and
all of these
there
stories.
is nothing worse than walking down the stairs out of Memorial Stadium to all the Iowa fans chanting "Let's go Hawks."
That's true.
I mean, it just takes everything in my being just to not say something. I mean, it was. I mean, I'm getting riled up right now.
Just the thought of that does. I think it gets the blood temperature up a little bit.
And then this last game in Kinnick Stadium, I was trapped. I had nowhere to go. And it was just it. Yeah, I think if I can get through a Nebraska game in Iowa City, losing the way we did on a walk-off field goal, and all them fans are on me, I can handle any venue. Anytime.
See, that's just like what we talk about with our 10-weekers, or I talk about, is willful suffering. So you put yourself through willful suffering with Nebraska and the Bears football. So then everything else in your life seems easier because
That's right.
you're suffering on purpose.
That's right. I can handle anything. I sat through a loss at Kinnick Stadium, surrounded by Iowa fans, high-fiving me afterwards, giving me the finger. It was like, I mean,
So
and
class,
I
I'll
took it.
tell people when they complain if do
took it.
burpees, and I'm like, if doing burpees is the worst part of your whole day, that's going to be a pretty good day. So
I think so.
Same with you with football. If that Hail Mary loss to Washington is the worst football, whatever, that's still
really
going to be a
was.
pretty good life.
I'm never going to forget that day. That hurt so bad.
Me either. It was awkward
All
in
right.
our house.
So anyway, let's get into some like real life stuff that matters.
Yeah.
So Nicole, Andrew, on the way over here, we were just kind of we talk to each other every now and then. In the car, you kind of have to, you can't go into different rooms. But so we were talking about Nicole was go ahead.
Yeah, this is my story, not yours. So Andrew, you'll think this is funny because we also, we grew up similarly. Maybe not when you were little like I was, but anyway. So you know how you've seen those memes about like, when we were kids. And Harrison, I don't know if you learned this a lot too, but the way that they taught us stop, drop, and roll, you thought you were just going to be on fire all the time, right? Like in school. Stop, drop, and roll, Harrison.
Yeah, we had the little tests. They bring out a trailer and it's got smoke and stuff, and they teach you how to climb out of it.
We didn't have that fancy of stuff, but I remember being in the gym with like mats, and you had to practice stop, drop, and roll, and that's what you did if you were ever on fire. And so then you grow up thinking you're going to be on fire at some point in your life, and you're going to need to stop, drop, and roll, right?
Well, hold on. Before you get, so you dealt with that. What Andrew and I dealt with was watching.
You're right.
Home videos that my dad would play because he was sold fire alarms of people just dying in fires.
That's true.
So
that's even worse.
That was my traumatic experience. And I remember these videos to this day.
Do you remember them, Andrea?
When he brought him up, I remember them. I don't really think about them much.
Well,
Didn't hit the same.
Yeah.
Oh,
same thing with growing up, we thought quicksand was going to be a bigger part of our lives because it was like such a thing in movies, quicksand all the time, quicksand everywhere. Well, I was up at the gym this morning cleaning, and I was listening to Enter Sandman came on. And so I grew up with going to church with my aunt and my grandma, and I had another aunt in Texas that made these tapes for me, cassette tapes, and I listened to them every night when I was a kid. And it was like she would sing songs, like worship songs, but then it would always end with the "Now I lay me down to sleep" prayer. And now I'm starting to think about like maybe a lot of these people in their 40s now have anxiety because as children, we were told that we were going to fall asleep and we might not wake up. Like I went to bed every night. If I die before I wake, I pray the Lord my soul to take. That was literally the last things I heard before I went to bed. Like
It's in that prayer.
Yes. Now I lay me down to sleep. I
You
pray
don't
the
like
Lord
that
my
one?
soul to keep. If I die before I wake, I pray the Lord my soul to take.
All right, teach their own.
Right.
To me, that was like comforting. I don't know why.
But in hindsight, though, as a child,
Well, Harrison
like
still is a child.
Yeah, but
you
yeah,
then they
Catholic
did
school.
change it because I remember Katie had a stuffed animal that said that prayer and they changed it to something else. Not if I die before I wake. I grew up thinking I was going to die in my sleep as a child.
Every night.
Yeah, and Jeff grew up thinking he was going to burn in a fire, and I lived my life thinking I was going to be murdered by someone in a hockey mask because
Yes.
Friday the 13th. I couldn't go in a basement or anywhere in the dark by myself.
And you've never seen a hockey mask outside of a hockey game in your life, in real life, but so it's complicated, right? Our brains are complicated because I was like, that is messed up that I went to bed to that prayer every single night thinking if I die before I wake. Yes, it's supposed to be comforting, Harrison.
Yeah, it's
You're
his
right.
soul to take. Don't
I
worry about
know.
it. He's got it.
But there could have been a nicer
Got the
way.
insurance policy on it. Yeah, we're good.
Now I see the world and like my soul to take. He's gonna take it. Gone. It's very aggressive. I just thought that was funny because I like that when I see that meme about stop, drop, and roll. Like we thought we were gonna be on fire a lot more because we learned that a lot in the 80s, or we thought we were gonna randomly be consuming poison. Do you remember? I remember my mom going crazy about putting these poison stickers on things in our house. Right.
That was because the whole like lead paint chip epidemic.
No,
though,
I
and
think
stuff,
kids were
wasn't it?
just drinking cleaning supplies because we were not supervised as children. So the government was like, okay, parents, we're going to give you these stickers and you can at least put a skull and crossbones in neon green and pink that says poison. And then you don't have to watch your kids and they won't drink poison.
No, they just start eating Tide packets.
Right.
Tide Pod.
Always going to find something.
Yes. So it just continues. It always continues. But it's just funny, those little things that when we're kids that stick with us. It didn't stick with me. I didn't think of it till I heard that song today. And I was like, you know what? That was kind of messed up.
Well, as a kid, yeah. And then when you're an adult and you realize, okay, that's probably not going to happen.
Yeah.
Or I don't have to worry about it as much.
And we're all traumatizing our kids in our own ways that we don't realize we're doing it until they grow up and tell us what we did to traumatize them.
Yes.
Yeah, you let Ben become a Ravens fan.
That could have been way worse. He could have been a Vikings fan, but he knew he couldn't be a Vikings
with
fan.
the stop, drop, and roll thing. Like now, I'm thinking like, okay, if I was actually on fire, like when am I? Okay, I'm gonna be. When am I gonna stop, drop, and roll in the fire? Like if I'm on fire, it's probably in a house or like.
I don't know, but there's a lot that I don't remember about my childhood, but I distinctly remember practicing stop, drop, and roll.
Doesn't hurt though. You know how many people? Oh, this sounds terrible, but like you see those videos that
Well, yeah,
Instagram
you just
doesn't
be
censor.
running around on fire.
I never see you stop and roll.
Yeah, nobody
Never
stop
see it.
and rolls now.
So maybe
Because
it's a good
those
thing.
don't make the cut.
You're watching them and you're just yelling, roll, roll,
Yeah.
roll.
When you're on
Stop,
fire,
drop,
though,
and
it's
roll.
probably the last thing you're thinking about is your training from elementary school.
That's why they had to drill it into your head.
That,
Stop,
or,
drop, and
that
roll.
or the putting the book over your head for the tornado drill. Like
what?
You'll be safe.
Yeah, the tornado drills. I know Andrew and I did this at Waukee. You go into like the
hallway
hallway, the bathroom, and you bring your biggest, thickest book.
Oh, we didn't do
and
that.
you
We
put
just-
it over your head.
We just booked it to the area. We didn't have to carry it.
No
Well, you had safer buildings. They were probably got better buildings.
Well, we had a basement. It was
Yeah.
brick, so probably.
No, we definitely. I remember putting a book over my head.
Well,
it's
I'll
gonna save
tell
us
you,
from a tornado.
This first segment has been unbelievable, chock full of information. But now it's time for a break.
Yes, we knew it was going to be a short segment, and everyone already knows Andrea, so we had to fill this with.
Yeah, we don't need to
something
get to know her, and we already know her.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna go to break. We'll be right back. Stay with us. 93.7 The Ticket.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started. Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in, temperature-controlled, high-end wine bar. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for wine, beer, spirits, and cigars. Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
Wrestling fans, it's time to elevate your game, just like Stevens & Smith Construction does for your concrete needs. As your full-service concrete contractor, we deliver solid results every time. From singles to doubles, fighting for inside position to scrambling reversals, we know how to pin down quality and slam expectations. Stevens & Smith Construction, a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket, where Husker wrestlers bring you all the action. Don't stall, Stevens & Smith Construction is here to help you build a concrete foundation for the win. Check us out at www.stevensandsmith.com because stalling is a penalty and winning is the only option.
Hey farmers, do you run a precision planting monitor in your planter tractor? Boyd Farm Outfitters is hosting our annual 2020 Monitor Clinic at the Holthus Center in York on Wednesday, March 19th. They'll run through everything on the monitor, from basic setup to more complex downforce settings and everything in between. You'll learn agronomy principles behind some of the monitor settings and will leave refreshed and ready to plant. Representatives from Precision Planting will be on hand to handle any questions that you can throw at them. Visit BoydFarmOutfitters.com for all the details and to reserve your spot.
What's better than supporting your favorite radio station and eating delicious Nebraska-made products? Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska wants to highlight you, the listener, on the 93.7 The Ticket Wall of Fame at the store. Stop by the store at 48th and R in Lincoln and see their huge variety of small batch gourmet jerky. Or if you're not in the area and want to try some, go to SmokingGunJerky.com and enter code EARLY for 10% off your purchase. It's the ultimate low-calorie, high-protein snack at Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with the child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
In today's digital world, you can never be too cautious when it comes to your security. Cyber attacks are affecting more businesses every day. At Hamilton Business Technologies, we understand the stress and impact a cyber attack can have, not just on your bottom line, but on your ability to serve your customers and protect their trust. That's why we are passionate about safeguarding your business. From real-time threat monitoring to advanced security protocols, we help keep your data safe, allowing you to focus on what matters most. Hamilton Business Technologies. Real people, real technology solutions. Connect with us at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
Early break. Joe says, Kevin says, the old days were absolutely not better times. Lots of hardships. Life in 2025 is better than ever. Oh, I love when we get these jokes back. I love good joke, good I love the joke. You're good. Good work, Kevin. You're hilarious, Kevin. You keep it up.
Early break from 6 to 8 every weekday morning on 93.7 The Ticket.
Let me introduce y'all to my kings. We got chicken fingers. They hit the spot, baby. Fries are golden crispy, Texas toast crunchy, and they cane sauce creamy rich. One love.
Rain, snow, or shine, John Henry's is here to keep your home's plumbing systems working properly no matter what kind of weather Nebraska throws at us. From unclogging toilets and drains to installing new water heaters and water treatment systems, John Henry's is your plumbing expert in the Lincoln and Omaha communities. Visit us at calljh.com or call
John Henry's.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
And electrical.
Now back to Fitness Fanatics on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All righty. Welcome back into the Fitness
Alrighty,
Fanatics.
that's new.
All righty. So we just got a couple minutes. So we want to do a little preview for our listeners of what is coming up in hour number 2.
Mm-hmm.
So Andrea, what was on your mind? You sent me a couple things, which I'm kind of excited to dive into. So what are we going to be hitting in this second hour of the show?
Well, I wish I remember the things that I said. That's a whole nother conversation. So we could pick up on that stuff. I just know last time it was a lot of me just explaining an ADHD brain and the deficits and what, where the problem areas can be, and didn't really have the time to get into. So now what do we do with it? But then also, Jeff, what we said was just like our brain in general, how a typical brain doesn't just mean everything's easy, right? Because you don't have ADHD. Like, it's still really hard to build and keep the habits that we need to do to stay healthy. And so understanding, my brain is trying to get me to not do that, it makes it easier to know, okay, what do I do? Instead of just, again, what is wrong with me? So many people, we don't grow up learning about our brain. So when we can learn what's happening instead of automatically going to like, what's wrong with me? Why can't I do this? It's just really validating. And then it's easier to figure out systems to help you.
Yeah, it takes away some of that shame. Like, that's when I tell people they're not special. It's taking away the shame that we tend to like hide behind.
Yes.
Because then when you find out, oh, this is not just me, it's not only a me thing, it's everybody, you will be shocked to know that after last time I immediately downloaded How to ADHD, the audiobook, and I still have 2 hours left. And
yeah, well, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
And I've listened to probably, no lie, 10 audiobooks since I started that one. So I have not circled back, but I still have 2 hours left.
That's a long one. So that's pretty good.
Yeah, it was good. And I will get back to it. But that's why I purchased it on Audible so I can go back to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited just because like when we see people start our 10-week challenge, I've had this conversation with so many people because like whenever we want to do something positive in our lives to make a change, and doing the Farrell's 10-week challenge is deciding to make a change.
Sure.
We have so many people that they get sick. Something comes up, their kid gets sick. Something bad happens and it derails them.
Inevitably, it's always going to happen.
Their schedule changes. That was you, Harrison. You did the 10 weeks and then your schedule changed at the ticket.
Yeah. Yep. I was like, there's no way in hell I'm going to be able to, because I'd get home.
Can't do everything.
11 at best, midnight, worst, past midnight at worst. And it's like, yeah, let's just go for 6 a.m. And I was failing miserably at getting there.
Yeah.
And we had to switch to the afternoon, which worked a lot better.
Yeah, it happens. It's fine.
You just can't give up. That's the problem, because you're going to fail.
Right. So that's kind of what I'm interested in diving into, because I've had those conversations, but when I have the conversation, it's just like,
what do you know?
It's not very
It's not like you've done this for 13 years or
well, I know, but it's not like,
I know.
I can't really get into like, why. It's just like, doesn't it always seem like every time you want to change, something happens. We had multiple people this session. And in the winter,
well, it's just everybody's sick right now.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit more prominent. Every challenge, people get sick or something happens.
Yep.
One of their parents passes. Just something like they lose their job, or like I was like, that's just, I know it's tough.
Yep. And then we have ourselves sabotaging too. We do that self-sabotage. So that'll be a good stuff.
Something goes wrong. You didn't work out that day. Well, I'm already feeling. Might as well order in a pizza and take the day off.
100%.
And then just feel worse about myself. Let's just pile on.
Yep.
I think that's
go ahead.
one of the biggest things that we call it self-sabotage because that's what it seems like, but that's an area if we can be like, oh, that's my brain. Like, why is my brain trying to get me to do that? I can't remember I think it's Disney. Luca, maybe, a couple of years ago. But it was where the sea creatures came to, like, they'd get on land.
Luca. Yeah.
There's, oh gosh, my brain. He calls his brain something, and I can't remember what it is, but he like talks to his brain. And he's like, stop it, stop. You know, he was scared to do something and he wanted to do it, and his brain was telling him not to because it was too scary. So anyway, that really bad story or example to say, like, if we think of our brain, obviously it's part of us, but if we think of it like as a separate thing, like, what are you doing? Stop trying to, instead of what's wrong with me, like, brain, why are you trying to do that? You know, why is our brain sabotaging us instead of us sabotaging ourselves?
Yeah, when it's not our brain, what's other part of our body, like if we had a knee injury, we wouldn't be like asking our knee why it hated us. Like,
right, what's wrong with me?
Right. But we don't do that in anything else. That's a good point. So this is what this episode is going to be. It's just a bunch of like, maybe a light bulb moment for people, maybe multiple light bulb moments. So
yeah. So as we go along in hour 2, if you have any questions, please feel free to text us at 402-464-5685 on the Starter Heyman text line. So with that, we're going to throw it to break. When we come back, we will dive into this a little more. So stay with us on 93.7 The Ticket, the Fitness Fanatics.
At Fairway Meat Market, your family, and as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. Fairway has fresh cut meats, seafood, cheese, wine, and spirits, and a friendly staff that's always ready to help you find what you need. Stop by Fairway Meat Market today to plan your weekly meals in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center, just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
Wrestling fans, it's time to elevate your game, just like Stevens & Smith Construction does for your concrete needs. As your full-service concrete contractor, we deliver solid results every time. From singles to doubles, fighting for inside position to scrambling reversals, we know how to pin down quality and slam expectations. Stevens & Smith Construction, a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket, where Husker wrestlers bring you all the action. Don't stall, Stevens & Smith Construction is here to help you build a concrete foundation for the win. Check us out at www.stevensandsmith.com, because stalling is a penalty and winning is the only option.
Hey everyone, Lance here with Black Label. We specialize in creating custom crafted decks, pergolas, patio covers, and more. Plus, our retractable screens, gazebos, and patio enclosures create the ultimate outdoor retreat. With over 50 years of combined experience, we're not just builders, we're creators of unforgettable memories.
Call them today at 402-730-6333 or visit blacklabelbuilt.com for a free consultation.
Let's turn your backyard dreams into reality.
Black Label Built, built to serve, built to last.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Salt Mine City is not only Lincoln's newest brewery, but they're also now serving food. Enjoy a full menu of great items daily for lunch and dinner, like their peanut butter and jelly burger with bacon and cheddar cheese, or a Reuben sandwich served on Blackstone rye bread. Don't forget their beef or chicken nachos with guacamole, sour cream, jalapenos, and more. Wash it down with one of their 12 beers on tap, including the popular Single Axle Light American Lager. Salt Mine City, now open 11 a.m. every day but Mondays at 8th and R.
Hey farmers, do you run a precision planting monitor in your planter tractor? Voigt Farm Outfitters is hosting our annual 2020 Monitor Clinic at the Holthus Center in York on Wednesday, March 19th. They'll run through everything on the monitor, from basic setup to more complex downforce settings and everything in between. You'll learn agronomy principles behind some of the monitor settings and will leave refreshed and ready to plant. Representatives from Precision Planting will be on hand to handle any questions that you can throw at them. Visit VoigtFarmOutfitters.com for all the details and to reserve your spot.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started. At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just a professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, our passion. For happier, healthier furry friends.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
Load up on meat and more this winter at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. This week's special through February 18th is 15% off chocolates, 15% off wines and spirits, and $10 off filet mignon per pound. Locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney in Lincoln, or 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
February is American Heart Month, and with heart disease as the #1 leading cause of death in Nebraska, now is the best time to start thinking about your health. Maintaining a healthy blood pressure is one of the best ways to avoid heart disease, and the blood pressure screening is fast, easy, and can be free. The best way to get screened is at your yearly wellness visit with your doctor. For more information and ways to get a blood pressure screening, search Chronic Disease Nebraska. Paid for by Nebraska DHHS, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Welcome into Fitness Fanatics on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Now here are your hosts, Jeff and Nicole Essig.
All right, welcome back in Fitness Fanatics, hour number 2. Appreciate everybody listening. Again, if you have any questions for us, 402-464-5685. Hour 2 is sponsored by Modern Woodmen of America. Founded in 1883, Modern Woodmen offers financial services and member benefits to individuals and families throughout the U.S. For more information, please give Sean Erickson a call at 402-483-6515. Modern Woodmen of America, touching lives, securing futures. So big shout out to them. Appreciate their support of the Fitness Fanatics, which we're almost going on 3 years now. Coming up here April 1st, I believe, is our 3-year anniversary of being on the radio. So hopefully you guys have learned some stuff over the last 3 years. If not, we probably wouldn't be on the air still. So, so we appreciate everybody listening, texting in. We had a couple texts from Matt Taylor, which is
awesome. Hi, Matt.
One of our former guests here. I mean, he's lost 170 pounds. He's kept it off. He's been on our show.
Long time listener too.
Long
Good
time
guy.
listener. Yes.
Yep.
Awesome. So we appreciate you chiming in.
Yeah,
so
thanks, Matt.
all right, back to Andrea here. So let's get into some brain talk.
The floor is yours.
The floor is mine.
Floor is yours.
Did anyone notice my OU shirt first before I say anything?
Oh, no, I didn't. I thought it had hearts or bows or something.
It's just, I just thought I needed to wear my sports gear.
I see it now that I'm looking at a bigger screen.
You know, the thing about Oklahoma is like Nebraska fans and Oklahoma fans typically get along.
We're okay now. We're all cool.
We have a
That's why I
like,
can wear it.
yeah, it's like a respectful. I mean, I know that's how it was in the 70s and 80s, and I remember. So, for those who did not know, Nicole and I went to an Oklahoma game in Norman.
There we go
with Andrea and Donnie in 2008.
You've told of course, you remember the year. I'm like, how old were my kids? I would have to figure it out.
Yes, I remember the year. Of
course,
that's how my brain. That's how my brain
That's
works.
how his brain remembers anything.
That's why
So-
when I text you and you're like, I ask you, hey, do you remember this? And you're like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, what? You're my memory. You're supposed
If you could have tied it to a sports event,
Yes.
then you would remember it like it was yesterday.
And I remember that game like it was yesterday.
I do too, actually.
Because that was one of the highest scoring offenses in the history of college football. And Harrison, I don't know if you remember these times, but it's Sam Bradford, DeMarco Murray. I mean, they just went down the field and got up 7-0. And I remember, so we're watching this game and Nebraska's first play of offense Gans throws a pick six
And we're surrounded by OU fans.
right in front of me. Like, I mean, literally, we were on the 20-yard line.
What year is this?
2008.
17 years ago.
Yeah, 17 years
I was
ago.
alive. I was alive.
Okay.
You were
Nikki, remember
aware.
when Jeff said he was the one that stays focused?
Yeah, I know. I already said, here we go.
Well,
I brought it up.
Yeah.
Brought up Oklahoma.
Yeah, you did. It's
But
your fault.
okay, and I would have gone to any other stadium, I would have left early. But my rides were Oklahoma fans.
Yep.
Oh.
And so
And
we
nice
had
ones.
to stay till the very end. We're down 35-0 in the second quarter. And I'm stuck there. But I'll tell you what, the Oklahoma fans were super nice to me. They're like, we were just there 10 years ago. Like, you guys will pat me on the back.
I don't remember.
Super nice.
They were unintentional.
And we're there again.
I know.
Yeah, they were lying to us because we haven't gotten back there yet. But
Yeah.
I don't remember anything about the game. All I remember is the changes in the expressions of the OU fans around us. Like, they were like excited and happy and kind of cocky looking at you at first. And then by the end, they were like legitimately concerned for you. Health. Like, I
That's-
remember that.
that's because
Like,
when we were
it went from like cocky, haha, we're winning, to like pity, and then to like actual concern. Like, what is this person?
And I
going
don't know
to
if
do?
you guys remember this, but I
That's what
had
I remember.
I had some of them laughing because we were down 42-0, 49-0. I can't remember exactly. And then when we scored the touchdown, I was just go Big Red, like screaming at the top of my lungs.
All right. Well, Megan is probably screaming at the top of her lungs because she's trying to learn about her brain, and you brought it back
Our
to
brain.
football.
I brought it up. I just
Yeah.
wanted to show you my shirt.
Okay.
So I think I'm trying to think of like how to just simplify it. A big thing to understand, and again, Nikki, like you said too, I always say unhook the shame. There's so much shame, even if it's not cognitive, like, oh, I'm bad or whatever. It's just wrapped around so much stuff. So our brains, it's primal. Like, our brain's main job is to keep us alive. So if we're alive, it wants us to keep doing what we've always done because it thinks, well, this is how you live, right? So when we try to change something, even if it's for the good, it can see it as like a danger. Don't do that. It's threatening,
Makes sense.
However, complicated but brilliant our brains are supposed to be, it's like, why can't you figure out this is good? You're supposed to like encourage me. So our brains, you guys know like bias and whatever, but our brains have biases and take in information through the filter of what it already knows. So there's only, like, neuroscientists say, like, our brain only takes in new information, like 10% of willing to see it as something different. Otherwise, 90% it filters through what we already know, which we can say, anything, politics, whatever we think of, like, that's why we have those biases, because we take it in through the filter of what we already know. So when we're talking about learning new
Let me
things,
translate that to Jeff really quick if he doesn't understand what we're talking about, because I can see his
What, I
eyes
just have
glaze
a
over.
daze, just like, okay. That makes
So
perfect
in
sense.
our world, Jeff, of fitness, this is where people come into our program and we're telling them, okay, in the past, to lose weight, you have had to eat 1,200 calories until you lost weight, and then you couldn't do it anymore. And then you would go back to your eating habits, you'd gain the weight again. And then we're telling them to eat 1,800 calories, but 90% of their brain is saying, no, that's not going to work because we've only done it using eating 1,200 calories in the past. Is that a good analogy?
Yeah, for that
Andrea?
too. Yeah. And then just little things like when you, okay, I'm going to, I make this food plan. This is what I'm going to do. And I get up, and if every morning I've had donuts and coffee for breakfast, but now I'm supposed to like make eggs and whatever, my brain's going to say, grab the donut, do that. It wants us to do that. And so that's how any new information, Nikki, whether it's someone telling you it or it's just you trying to do something, which is what, we get on autopilot. It just does what it already knows to do. You wake up and you do the same thing. I wake up, I grab my watch, I grab my water, start walking. And then we have neural networks in our brain. Again, another movie, Inside Out, is like really accurate with the brain. And Inside Out too, I love it so much. And they've actually had a lot of like neuroscientists and other professionals consulting on those movies.
Oh, we haven't seen the second one.
Okay, well, it shows it's a really
Mhm.
good example of neural networks, but we have all these neural networks in our brain, and they start somewhere, like one thing happens, and then they build and it gets stronger and stronger and stronger. So if you have some belief of like, I can't do it, or I'm not good enough, if that's really strong in your brain based on a lot of experiences, when you try to think differently, you can build that positive one, but the negative one can be so strong that our brain just goes to that.
Well, Harrison, you've never seen Inside Out?
No.
I saw you Google it, so I assumed you've never seen it. So
You see what she,
90,
you see what
1%
Nicole
Rotten
deals.
Tomatoes.
You see what she deals with every week on this show, Andrea.
So Inside Out, if you first of all, you should watch it. We've only seen the first one, but it's basically the this little girl's life, but then it goes into her head, and there's different emotions in her head, and it talks about how they process the same information.
It's got a 98%.
It's really good.
Inside Out 1. The second one's a 91%, which
It's
those are
really,
cool.
really good.
Well,
but
and the second one, they add anxiety. So,
yeah, because she becomes a teenager. She's
Oh,
like a child,
makes
and
sense.
then she gets older. But
Yeah.
my favorite part of Inside Out is at the end when they show the inside of the mom, the dad, the cat, the dog. Like they show everybody's internal like emotions. But I think in Inside Out, that's a good one where like, everything can be going fine, but then once anger gets mad, like it overrides literally everything, and it just like torches the whole system basically because they're angry. So
right, and so that's everyone's brain. And then when you have ADHD and part of the frontal lobe's job is to regulate those emotions, it's even more so, right? Like now I'm mad and that's all I can feel, and this is my life forever. So we have these neural networks, and how it applies to habits is like one good way I like to explain it. When you go sledding, if you get several inches of snow and there's a hill and it's brand new, you're the first one to go down, you put your sled in and you create the path, right? Then you climb back up the hill, and where do you go? To the same one, right? And then you slide again, and then the next person, and all of a sudden there's this wide, smooth path. Well, you're not going to go up and be like, oh, well, I'm just going to go way over here and create another path, because this one's already there and it's easy and what's what you're already doing, right? You could scoot over a little bit. Okay, I'm going to start over here. But then what happens? You slide over to the path that's already there, right? So that's our networks in our brain. They get strengthened and strengthened and strengthened. That is just what we do. And it's where our brain takes us, even if we try to do something else. Does that make sense, Jeff? You got that?
Yep. No, that makes sense.
So it doesn't mean we can't do another path, right? You can.
Right.
It's just the understanding of it's harder. It's harder to do the other thing when.
But like if you went to another path, like maybe it's more fun. Maybe it's a little more steep, or the ending is a little cooler on the sled or whatever, but we just don't want to try.
But then you have to know, like, okay, but it might take a little more effort, or it's just that understanding of the pull back to it. Or if you're like riding a bike on grass, but then you ride in the same place every time, you're going to create a path, right? So then if you try to create another path in the grass, it's going to be harder. It's going to be bumpier. You might pull to the other one. You can still do it. You just have to put more effort into it. And if someone is telling you, oh, this one's just as easy, well, it's not. And then that's where the shame can come, right? When everyone's like, you can do it, or this is how I do it. And well, maybe it doesn't work for me, or maybe that's not as easy for me.
Like it will be easier.
Yes,
It's not necessarily easier, but it will be if you keep going.
Because just like the first path won't go away, those original networks in our brain, they stay there. They're there, but we can take the strength away from it, make the other one stronger, and then they're equally accessible. So you can access the more positive one easier. Like your brain might still be like, you can't do that because this is here. But then you say, oh, wait, yes, I can. I'm going to do it. It might be hard, but I can do it. Right. Does that make sense?
Yes. But how do we fix it?
So how do you fix it? Well, first, understanding where your brain's taking you. What are those automatic thoughts? What is the first thing you think? And that's where the retraining of the brain happens of, okay, this is the thought. What is something different? What's something more true that I can think of? And, you know, just like I can't do it or I can do it, you know, with like in a workout is something so simple. With just like, I'm trying to think of just like a specific habit, but I don't know.
Well,
You guys have what?
I have a question. Like, is there I know everybody says the like 21 days to form a habit, but I don't think that's necessarily true. Like, is there a more scientific, or do you have a way of explaining that, like, so people can understand how long we can expect it to take to form a new habit? Like, maybe our expectation is not in line with the actual like science of how our brain works.
Yeah. So a typical brain, not talking ADHD, a typical brain, I'm sure, I don't know if that 21 days is still what research says, but that's what, if you think of sledding, how many times does it take to go down the sled or that same path before it's like actually formed and it's easy to do it? Or even when you're walking back up the hill, you know, there's a path there 21 times later that it's easier to go up. So that's where like all the factors come, right? Well, what if you lose your boot? Well, then it might take 22 times. Or what if you have a blow up sled and it gets a hole? And so, 21 days might be it, but there might be things along the way that make it harder, take longer. And that's where, you know, you guys talk a lot about consistency. That's where that comes in of, okay, well, maybe you didn't do it today, but that doesn't mean you can't do it tomorrow. And then with ADHD, we talked last time about the whole thing is just inconsistency. We have an inconsistent brain. So I can do something for 21 days and then not do it on the 22nd day and never think of it again. Like it could leave my brain, or my brain's just like, nope, not doing that anymore.
That happens to me with food all the time. Like I'll be super hyper fixated on something and then like cottage cheese or whatever. And then I get sick of it. And then 2 months later, I'll have it again. And I'm like, this is the greatest thing ever. Why did I stop eating this? Like it happens with me with food all the time. Then I get on a new kick of something. So yes, I think that's very relatable for people.
Yeah. So then understanding that, however, you don't have to understand, you know, all of the functioning of the brain, but understanding, first of all, that can be normal. But it doesn't mean you'll never eat it again. But it also doesn't mean force yourself to, you know, maybe there's something else you can do.
Or like maybe don't eat it every single day in a row for 35 days until you get sick of it. Maybe like alternate days, have more than one thing that you're eating to like keep it from, you know.
That's one of the frustrating things about ADHD is that there's comfort in the same thing. Well, especially that, because then you don't have to think about what you're eating, because you just know you're going to grab the cottage cheese, and it's all of the reasons why it's better and easier. But then also our brain wants novelty and something new and exciting. And then so one day you're like, I hate this cottage cheese.
See, that's how I know that like Jeff and I have different brains, because Jeff has eaten cottage cheese except for Whole30 in January. You've had cottage cheese every single day for how long?
Probably 3 years now.
Yeah.
That's like my dad. He's had a peanut butter sandwich for lunch every day.
How I know
for like 30 years.
You have almost the same like breakfast, snack, and lunch every single day for like years.
Yeah,
Years.
you can eat the same thing.
And I can't meal prep and eat the same thing 2 days in a row. Like if I'm telling myself I have to. If it's my choice, that's different. But if I make it ahead of time and I'm like, okay, I'm making this on Sunday and I'm going to make it on Wednesday, part of my brain will rebel and be like, but I don't want it on Wednesday. So I don't know how that works for my brain. But yeah, you don't get sick of food, really.
Yeah, Nikki, you can Google for later demand avoidance. That's the thing with ADHD. With anything, I can think all day, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this as soon as I get home. And I get home and I'm told, hey, go do that. I'm like, no, I'm not doing that.
Jeff knows that. Jeff will remind me of something 2 times. And I'm like, well, now I can't do it for at least another 45 minutes because you told me 2 times. Right.
So there, you know, the consistency, we know like that has to be, but also giving yourself, I guess, grace a break or whatever when you can't be consistent. But Jeff, when you brought up like people start and they're all for it and then they get derailed, right? Well, one thing I think is so important, like what you mentioned, like if a parent dies or, you know, something, if you get sick, you got to allow yourself to take that break. You know, you're not like, wait, but I signed up for this 10 weeks and I have to do it.
Yes.
Like, it might not be the time. So it's okay if you have to take a break, but then that's where it doesn't mean you can't do it ever, you know, pick back up. And the same with anything, you know, and that's why I think there are people that will do everything they plan to do, fitness wise. They'll eat what they planned and go to the gym when they plan, and it's just something they can do. But when anyone holds ourselves to that level, like Nikki, if you're like, well, Jeff eats the same thing every day, I have to eat the same thing every day, you know, it wouldn't work for you. Knowing, okay, I tried everything I could to get myself to do that workout today, but I'm not doing it. In the past, I would have probably been like, well, I guess I'll start next week, right? And now I know, yes, now I know, wait, why can't I just do it tomorrow? Like, I can do it tomorrow. It's not all or nothing. And again, that's what, and my brain goes out, okay, next Monday, right? How many times did I say, okay, Monday, right? And that's, you know, kind of a stereotypical thing, but it's so true. And now I have to fight to be like, no, I can do it tomorrow.
And is there a point where, like, we talk about sabotage, but like, is there a point where if you do that enough times, like you kind of create a tolerance in your brain? So I think about one time, a long time ago, back when we had our gym in Iowa, our Farrell's in Iowa, and it was a teenager. So take that with what, you know, whatever. But she missed class one day. She didn't come to class because she bit her tongue really hard in class, like in school. And so she just couldn't possibly work out because she bit her tongue really hard. So is there a point where like you really are sabotaging yourself because you continue to, like, I always say it's like we're easy on ourselves about the things that we can control, and we're really hard on ourselves about the things we can't control. We can't control if we're sick, and then we're just like really hard on ourselves because we really wanted to do it, but we're sick and we can't. I have a fever, I have COVID, whatever, I can't be out. But then we're really easy on ourselves on the days where it's just like, oh, I was up too late and I didn't want to get up. I didn't really have a reason. Is there a time where you're building up a tolerance where like you're just going to like get easier and easier on yourself to not do what you want to do? Does that make sense?
Building up the tolerance
to like be easy on yourself. Yes.
Well, yeah. I mean,
does that make sense?
Yes.
Like,
if you don't know that you can do the hard thing, and the thing when I'm saying how our brain is wired and what builds, our brain can learn new information. When we're talking about rewiring, retraining our brain, just like our muscles learn new things, you know, we can learn new things. So yeah, if it goes either way. So if every time you're like, oh, I can't do it, I'm going to call. I think of like, if you call into work and you're like, oh, I can't call, that's so hard. But then you call into work like 5 times, the 6th time you're like, oh, I'm just going to call into work. Right. It's not. So yes, you can definitely do that. And then your brain learns, okay, well, we're surviving by not doing the hard thing. So we don't want to do the hard thing. Right. Yeah. And that's what builds that up. So with, the opposite of that is training yourself to know I can do it. And there's so many, like, you guys know all of the like, well, put your workout clothes on your bed the night before, or, I mean, I even tried sleeping in my workout clothes. Like, I had to learn about myself. I cannot get up at 5 a.m. and work out. I can't. Like, I have tried and I've done all of the tricks. And when I did do it for a little while, I would literally come home and go back to bed and sleep. Like, it's not for me. And instead of forcing myself to do that, I have to figure out what works for me. Right. If I had to get a job where I had to get up at 5 a.m., I could make it work because that's a different kind of accountability. Right.
Well, that's what I say. We'll go to break. We'll talk about this when we come back from break. Okay. But one thing that I tell people, especially, and that's true, like some people are not morning people, so stop trying to make yourself be a morning person. But also I always say, like, the people who like you maybe kept hitting snooze, like, oh, I just can't get up. I can't get up. Well, if you were getting up to go on vacation and you had to get up at 5 a.m. to get a flight, nobody's missing that flight. We're not missing those flights, but when it's our workout, we tend to miss it. And so it's kind of that reflection of like, is this really the best thing for me? But let's talk about that when we come back from break. But that's the example I like to use.
All right. Well, we'll be right back. Stay with us. 93.7 The Ticket, the Fitness Fanatics.
Be sure to check out the top-selling Recomp. Recomp helps build lean muscle and strength while decreasing body fat. Recomp is ideal for men and women of all ages trying to look their best. Recomp can only be found in Nutrition Authority. For info, visit mynutritionauthority.com.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
With UBT, you've got total control over your money. Like Doug, who runs his game day tailgate like a well-oiled machine.
I got burgers, brats, chicken, dogs, plus all the fixins. And with the UBT Go app, I can track my food spending from anywhere.
Pro move.
They don't call me Grill Sergeant for nothing.
No matter your goals, UBT helps you feel good about reaching them. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in, temperature-controlled, high-end wine room. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting book. There's only one place to go for all your needs for wine, beer, spirits, and cigars. Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
If you want to make new floor shopping easier, come to O Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. Even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at O Street Carpet. O Street Carpet. 1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Hey farmers, do you run a precision planting monitor in your planter tractor? Boyd Farm Outfitters is hosting our annual 2020 Monitor Clinic at the Holthus Center in York on Wednesday, March 19th. They'll run through everything on the monitor, from basic setup to more complex downforce settings, and everything in between. You'll learn agronomy principles behind some of the monitor settings and will leave refreshed and ready to plant. Representatives from Precision Planting will be on hand to handle any questions that you can throw at them. Visit BoydFarmOutfitters.com for all the details and to reserve your spot.
We currently have a great inventory of homes that are completed or almost complete available right now that you could move in within 30 to 90 days.
Bob Benish is the founder and president of Aspen Builders, online at aspenbuildersinc.com.
In Woodside Village, which is in Northwest Lincoln, catty corner from the new Northwest High School, we have available homes right now that start in the lower 300s. Sod, sprinklers are included, all your kitchen appliances, brand new homes ready to go. A very accessible area, easy to get downtown, easy to get on the interstate. It's just a great location. Our designer has selected incredible finishes that will amaze you. Available homes right now that start in the lower 300s.
Call Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your dream home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
Step into healing at Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery. Our team of top-notch medical professionals turns pain into progress with state-of-the-art treatments and compassionate care. Visit prairieortho.com and discover the difference in quality orthopedic and plastic surgery services tailored to your unique needs. Your health matters, and Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery is dedicated to helping you thrive. Reach your full potential. Embrace a better tomorrow with Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery.
Hi, it's Joel Norman, the voice of your Lincoln Stars hockey team. Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket to hear the latest on the Stars with myself, head coach Rocky Russo, and special player guests.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with taco night on Mondays or whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
Now back to Fitness Fanatics on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back. We're so excited because we've been doing this show for almost 3 years, and nobody ever brings us any food, right?
If you're a fan of the ticket, you know that during the week they get everything.
Oh, they
get Mexican food, they get Good Sense, they get desserts, they get all the stuff.
Know what the worst of it is when I come here at night, they take it home.
They have nothing
It's all
left
gone for you.
They act like there's no shows after 6 o'clock.
So quickly during the break, DP brought in some samples of beef jerky, and we've been eating beef jerky
Yes,
on the break.
We've been eating beef jerky the last 5 minutes. So shout out to Smoking Gun Jerky. We've been munching on this. It's been very, very
There's
tasty.
multiple flavors, and so we have sampled Wicked Awesome,
Wicked Mary,
Wicked Mary, and Beer for My Horses.
Yeah, that's the only flavor I've had.
Harrison and I really like the Bloody Mary flavor, the Wicked Mary. Very good.
Not at all what I thought it tasted like. I was like, a Bloody
But
Mary jerky?
The
No, it's
thing is,
fantastic.
they all do have different flavors.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
you would think beef jerky is like the same, but they all taste different. The Beer for My Horse is a little sweeter. We'll have to, during break, we'll have you try the other one. And there's another one we haven't opened yet too, Wicked Applewood. So that was probably good too.
So sorry, Andrew, you're
Yeah.
not getting to taste this.
Yeah,
but
sorry.
We're just like,
We're
like,
so
oh my gosh,
excited.
beef, somebody brought us something to eat. This
Yep.
is wonderful.
SmokingGunJerky.com.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say as
Okay.
well. SmokingGunJerky.com. And I will say, if you like the spicy stuff, the Wicked Mary, that's good.
It's not even that spicy, but it was good. Very flavorful. Okay, back to the.
I'm on brain
back to-
overload now with the jerky.
It's okay. I'm right where we left
Okay,
off.
go for it.
Andrea,
Yeah.
tell us what your strategies were once you realized that you are not a morning workout person.
Yeah.
What strategies
Well,
did you
it's funny that you brought up
try
the
to
flight
overcome that?
because this trip I just took, my flight, it was like a 5:30 flight, and I dreaded it from the moment I booked it. I'm like, oh, I don't want to get up that early, but I did, right? Because with my brain, not only is it because I'm going on a trip instead of getting out whatever doing the dumb workout, it's that's the dopamine, the reward of like, well, if I get up, then this is what I get, but also the accountability of it of, well, I don't want to miss my flight because then that's a lot of extra work,
And travel is a novelty, and our brain does like that.
Yeah. So it's a good example, but that's why it's easy. I'd be like, yeah, well, that's why it's easy for me to get up for a trip.
Right.
But
Nobody
the
thinks
thing
that that's
with
hard.
if I had to get up for work, I'd still have to figure out how to do it. And if 5 a.m. was the only time I could move my body, then I would have to figure it out. Right. And what you could do with that is trick your brain into not like, oh, we get to go on vacation, but whatever it is to actually get out of bed. I just saw this reel that it was a guy and he's like, hey, when's this project? He was doing a group project. When's it due? And the friend's like, oh, not until Monday. He's like, oh, okay. So like tonight at 5. He was like, no, not until Monday. He's like, wait, so what you're saying is it's due tonight at 5? Because he knew if he didn't have a deadline, his brain was going to tell him not to even start on it. So
That is
he
the story of my life.
Yes, he was tricking his brain into thinking there's a deadline. But then our brain might be like, hey, you're not going to trick me. But there's a thing we call opposite action. When you think of something, just do it. Like there's been times where, I'm putting off a phone call. It's just a simple phone call, but I can't make myself do it. And I'll think about it. I'm like, just do it. Just do it. Just do it. Actually, that happened with me working out a couple weeks ago. We had a snow day. And so last thing I want to do was go in the room and work out, but I was like, I'm going to do it. I'm just going to do it. And I was walking to my room, like, I'm just going to do it. You're just going to get dressed and you're just going to lift. I'm talking to myself the whole time. Don't sit down. Don't check your phone, And as I'm getting dressed, I'm telling myself, you're just going to do it. You're just going to do it. And ironically enough, I got a text from a client. It was like, hey, I'm about to hop on. And I forgot I had a client because my schedule had changed. So I had to do it afterwards. But those are the things you have to do. Opposite act. My brain wants to do this. So when the alarm goes off and you think, oh, I'm going to snooze. No, opposite action. I'm just going to jump out of bed. And then you might get back in bed.
I tell myself that a lot with things like if it's going to take them less than 2 minutes, just do it now.
Yes. Just do it. Just do it.
A lot of times it's going to take more than 2 minutes, or sometimes it takes less than 2 minutes. But
yes,
if I can have that moment where I just think, okay, this is going to take less than 2 minutes. Just do it now. And then I do it. I feel so much better having done it. Like, why can't we remember that feeling?
Well, a lot of typical brains, typical brains can. That's one of the biggest issues with the ADHD. That's the dopamine, right? Oh, it feels good that it's done. And a typical brain knows that feeling is coming. An ADHD brain forgets. Like the number of times I've said, I know that's going to feel good. Like, just get it done. But my brain, doesn't accept it. But back to the self-sabotage, when I started saying, I know I can't work out in the morning. Well, I also know I can't work out at night because something's going to come up. Right.
Oh yeah.
Lucky for me, I have a flexible schedule where mid-morning happens. But even if I'm like, I'm going to do it, something's going to come up either to derail it, or it's going to be the end of the night and I'm just going to be tired. And the last thing I want to do is work out. Right. Mm-hmm. Again, if it was my only time, I would have to find a way to make it work. But with me, I learned, and thankfully my schedule is flexible, like I said. So I have kind of a good time where I'm not still exhausted, but I'm not too busy, and I can make it work. So the morning and evening looks like self-sabotage, right? That I won't get out of bed or something comes up. It looks like self-sabotage, but really what it is just my brain saying, don't do that. That's really hard. Or, you have other things to do, or you're too tired.
Mm-hmm. I know it's still hard.
That opposite action can help with a lot of things. And the thing is, it's not like a magic button that you get to push and then your brain just does it, right? You still have to do the thing. If last time we talked about grabbing quick stuff or quick food, because it's easier. If I'm here and I think, oh gosh, I got to make something. I don't want to. I should just, eat this bag of chips. Mm-hmm. When I have that thought, nope, not going to do that. I'm going to make something and just start doing it. Because once I start making something, I'm not going to just stop and be like, oh, I'm actually now going to go back to those chips.
Yeah, you don't stop mid cooking a meal and oh, it's taking too long.
Yes. Might
so even if it's not even, so then that's how I need to reframe it in my brain. Not that if it's going to take less than 2 minutes, do it now. It's just do it for 2 minutes. That's what I need to tell myself, because I could easily be oh, it's going to take me longer than 2 minutes, so I don't need to do it now. Trick myself. But then if I think, okay, if I can just do this for 2 minutes, start it and do it for 2 minutes, period, then do it. And now, because once
if it takes 2 minutes, I mean, that's helpful for me for things, outside of fitness, just in life. If I go put my clothes
all the time.
Yeah. Clothes on my bed, just put them away. It'll take 1 minute, just put it away. But yes, I mean, I've heard lots of times, just start walking and tell yourself, I'll do it for 5 minutes. And if you don't want to keep doing it, then stop, and sometimes I might be yeah, I don't want to do this, but most of the time, the adrenaline's going, the serotonin, whatever. And then you're okay, I can keep going.
We say that to people all the time, give it 10 minutes.
Yes.
But now when you're doing something like a group fitness class, Yeah, it's a little less socially acceptable to just like leave after 10 minutes. So you're giving yourself
and
a little more,
that's
but
why,
that's also part of it.
For sure. And that's why classes are a lot better for people because of the accountability, right? Yeah, you're not going to get started and be like, I'm out.
Right.
I have seen people do it. I'm like, oh, that's brave.
Yeah. And we use that in cases of like, if you're not feeling well, not like if you're sick, but if you're like, oh, I have a little bit of a headache. I don't know if it's because I just need to move my body. Am I going to feel better or worse after 10 minutes? So like you give yourself 10 minutes. If you still feel bad or you feel worse, then stop. Or if you're injured, I'm going to try this for 10 minutes. If it loosens me up, then I'm going to keep going. If I feel worse, then I'm going to stop. Like there's times where it's okay to do that, but you can use that to just like get you in the door or get you started. Like that's what we should do.
Yeah. And one of the things I'm thinking of all the things, like all of the cliche motivational things that we hear that can be shaming. Like the one I hate so much is we all have the same 24 hours, right?
Yes.
Sure,
terrible.
we do. But don't tell me that if, you don't have kids or all of the things like,
it's usually like a 23-year-old saying that, a 23-year-old fresh off of whatever personal trainer being like, well, I don't understand why this is hard for you. We all have the same 24 hours.
Or when I hear it, from someone that I know, like has a nanny and an assistant, like I don't have the same 24 hours you do. But it's true that we do all have time,
Yes.
We make time for the things that are important to us, to our priorities.
So, but that's the thing again, if I'm always told, well, you have the same 24 hours as me, that can lead to shame of like, why can't I figure it out? Why can't I make it fit? Right. I have to understand, sure, literally same 24 hours, but they do not look the same. So how do I make it work for me? And then that takes away that shame and that what's wrong with me and how do I make it work for me? So I don't know, Jeff, was there anything else with that? The question that you said you were interested in of like why people quit or.
No, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. The unfortunate thing about all this is like, this is something you have to you have to do for the rest of your life. Right.
Yes.
Like it's not just
but that's so true because if you're successful in anything, like we know so many people that are really successful in their professional lives, but they still struggle to work out every single day. And it's like, yeah, but if you put that work ethic towards your work, you wouldn't be successful. Like, so it is hard and it's not everyone's priority. And also that's okay. But that doesn't mean, so one of the things that I like, the analogy I like to give sometimes is, and we'll go to break, but where like I'm short, so sometimes I can't reach things. Like, so if there's something on a high shelf, I don't look at that and be like, well, that's not for me. I guess I'll just like the good example is like our griddle that's on top of our fridge. Like I almost always break something or almost break something when I try to get it. If there's something on top of it and I don't know, and it just makes a big mess or whatever. So I'm trying to get the griddle. I don't be like, well, I'm never going to be able to use the griddle. Like it's going to be a little bit harder for me. I'm going to have to get a stool and I'm going to move it over. I'm going to have to step on it and get it down,
or just ask me to go
or
get
ask you or Ben to get it for me. But I don't look at that and be like, well, I guess it's not for me. I'll just never really use a griddle again. But we don't think about that when it comes to, I don't have time. Well, yeah, maybe you don't have 45 minutes, but you have 3 15-minute chunks in your day where you can still get 45 minutes of movement in 15 minutes at a time. So it's like, it might be a little bit harder, but it doesn't mean it's impossible. There's so many things we don't apply to our health and wellness that we apply to our everyday life all the time.
And in reality, there's probably like 1% of people in the world that can actually have the excuse of I don't have 45 minutes.
Right. Yeah.
Just about everybody has 45 minutes they can find.
If
it's
you
for your own health.
Don't know if you have 45 minutes, then go on your phone and check out your screen time and see how long you spend on certain things on your phone that are frivolous that you could definitely apply to moving your body for.
Well, and you can even be on your phone moving your body.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You can walk.
Combine it. Habit stack.
Listen to something.
I can't walk without listening to a podcast or a book.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. No.
I had one buddy who got really into running. They just watched movies.
Yeah.
Full on movies on the treadmill.
That's why I enjoy running on the treadmill because there's certain things that I only do when I'm on the treadmill. So like if I'm running outside, I'm not watching a movie, but if I'm running on the treadmill, like, yay, I get to watch this new movie or this Netflix series, and it's going to keep me engaged. So
takes your mind off the pain too.
it does. It just takes your mind off. So let's go to break.
All right. Sounds good. We'll be right back. Stay with us and we'll finish up 93.7 The Ticket, the Fitness Fanatics.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait. Apply now.
Unearth the secret to long-lasting tires at Tread's Central Tire Pros, a league apart in commitment, service, and expertise. This isn't just about rubber meeting the road, but trust, safety, and surety converging in perfect harmony. This is where expectations are exceeded every time. Make your appointment today at Tread's Central Tire Pros, just south of Cortland on Highway 77, or visit our website to explore our services. Remember, when it comes to tires, choose Tread's Central Tire Pros because we tread differently.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Hey farmers, do you run a precision planting monitor in your planter tractor? Voigt Farm Outfitters is hosting our annual 2020 Monitor Clinic at the Holthus Center in York on Wednesday, March 19th. They'll run through everything on the monitor, from basic setup to more complex downforce settings and everything in between. You'll learn agronomy principles behind some of the monitor settings and will leave refreshed and ready to plant. Representatives from Precision Planting will be on hand to handle any questions that you can throw at them. Visit BoykFarmOutfitters.com for all the details and to reserve your spot.
Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in, temperature-controlled, high-end wine bar. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting book. There's only one place to go for all your needs for wine, beer, spirits, and cigars. Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
Hi everyone, Kendall Warnock, A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. The last few years have been wild, but we've been here for you through all the ups and downs, and we'll be here for you when you need us the most, for all your travels and for your day-to-day driving. With winter conditions causing problems all over town, the last thing anyone needs this year is constant car troubles. Let us help you drive in peace and make sure you drive to work and to winter destinations safe. A1 Automotive, 11th and L Street downtown, always honest answers.
Step into healing at Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery. Our team of top-notch medical professionals turns pain into progress with state-of-the-art treatments and compassionate care. Visit prairieortho.com and discover the difference in quality orthopedic and plastic surgery services tailored to your unique needs. Your health matters, and Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery is dedicated to helping you thrive. Reach your full potential. Embrace a better tomorrow with Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery.
Rain, snow, or shine, John Henry's is here to keep your home's plumbing systems working properly no matter what kind of weather Nebraska throws at us. From unclogging toilets and drains to installing new water heaters and water treatment systems, John Henry's is your plumbing expert in the Lincoln and Omaha communities. Visit us at calljh.com or call
John Henry's.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
and electrical.
In today's digital world, you can never be too cautious when it comes to your security. Cyber attacks are affecting more businesses every day. At Hamilton Business Technologies, we understand the stress and impact a cyber attack can have, not just on your bottom line, but on your ability to serve your customers and protect their trust. That's why we are passionate about safeguarding your business. From real-time threat monitoring to advanced security protocols, we help keep your data safe, allowing you to focus on what matters most. Hamilton Business Technologies. Real people, real technology solutions. Connect with us at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
We currently have a great inventory of homes that are completed or almost complete available right now that you could move in within 30 to 90 days.
Bob Benish is the founder and president of Aspen Builders, online at aspenbuildersinc.com.
In Woodside Village, which is in Northwest Lincoln, catty corner from the new Northwest High School, we have available homes right now that start in the lower 300s. Sod, sprinklers are included, all your kitchen appliances, brand new homes ready to go. A very accessible area, easy to get downtown, easy to get on the interstate. It's just a great location. Our designer has selected incredible finishes that will amaze you. Available homes right now that start in the lower 300s.
Call Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your dream home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
Now back to Fitness Fanatics on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back. Last couple minutes here. All right, any place you want to go, Nicole? Like, you have any questions? Andrew, you have anything we want to finish up with?
Parting thought.
Well, I just wanted to touch on what we were stopping on there about like doing it forever. You know, I know you guys have your 10-week and that's the structure and it's super successful, but we also know like when people are like, okay, I'm 90 days so I can fit in my bikini or whatever, right?
Yeah.
It's
Right.
okay to have goals and that's motivating for people, but so many of us with our brain, we've been trained that that's why we do it, right? We do it to lose weight. We do it to look good at this event. And that's the retraining, especially as we're older, that's the retraining of the brain of if I'm like, oh, I don't want to walk, you know, who cares about bikini? If I'm like, well, I'm going to go lift those weights so I can one day lift a grandkid, you know,
Right.
like that's the retraining. We know those things and we hear those things now, but our brain is like, nope, because it knows what we've always done. Of the goal is to change how our body looks, or you know, to win a prize, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And so we can retrain it to, no, I'm doing this for my health. Oh, I don't
And
want to
we
walk.
see
Okay,
that.
I also don't want to die. So
We see that on both sides because we do have the entry of our program is 10 weeks, but then we also have our maintenance program, and we have people that have been doing it for 15 years here in Lincoln. They've been here since the very first session. So it's like, yeah, if you can, and maybe that is knowing your brain. And if you know you're a person that is motivated by, you know, okay, there's a start and a finish, but then you have to also tell yourself, like, but it's not really a finish.
No.
right.
Like,
Yeah, because
you
your
still
guys
have
is
to do something to continue to maintain the results that you got in that 10 weeks. That's why, like, I'm not super competitive. So, like, the concept of a 10-week challenge for myself isn't that motivating because I need to think about it more long term. And I think sometimes people think, like, maybe this is what's always been missing. I never had a deadline. But then you hit the deadline and then you go back to your bad habits. And it's like, well, what was that all for then?
right.
We see
So
that too.
as you're doing it, if you're thinking of training your brain to, I'm doing this for my health, I'm doing this to feel better, I'm doing this so I'm alive when my kids are adults, then that is a better motivator than, you know, all of those other things.
As a certified personal trainer, as I am, that is one of the things we learn about intrinsic and extrinsic motivations of, and I'm, you know, that too, but it's like, what is your motivation and what's the motivation that's going to help you in the long term, not just the short term. And everybody's different. Sometimes you're motivated internally. I'm motivated externally. That is my motivation. That's why group fitness works for me, because I teach classes all the time and like a strength training class. And I'll be like, this is awful. I wrote this and I knew what was going to happen. And I 100%, if was doing this by myself, I never would have finished this workout. But because I am doing it with a group of people, we're all suffering together. That's what helps me finish this workout.
That's how I am. Like,
that's why we're gym owners. That's why this is our job.
Like, if one person shows up for class and I'm teaching, then man, we'll get after it. But if nobody shows up for that class, do you think I'm going to do it myself?
You're not. No.
Absolutely
I wouldn't
not.
either. I'd still do something, but I wouldn't do what I wrote down, knowing that it was going to be terrible.
Right. And that's like me. I'm just not self-motivated person. Like if I went into 24-hour fitness or Planet Fitness was just like, I don't know what. Like
if you had to
I'd look
come
at
up with
these
something
machines
every single day to
I'd
do
look at
just
these
by
machines
yourself.
and I'd be like, I have no clue what I'm supposed to do, even though I've been teaching strength training for 16 years.
Right.
I'd
if
be
you
like,
had to, right, you'd figure it out. But
Right,
you know
I
what
would.
works for you, and you
Yeah.
do that. And that with all of the things with since we're focusing on the brain, retraining our brain. With this, like, what are all the messages I've known? The 1,200 calories, do it for 90 days. You know, all like go hard, go. All of the messages that we have learned are so strong. And for all the reasons we're relearning new things, we can do that. We just have to keep reminding our brain, oh, no, I don't have to starve myself. Oh, no, I don't have to push myself until I'm about to pass out, you know, and I'm doing this for this reason. I'm doing this for health, not so I can fit into a dress. And that we can retrain. And I mean, that's one of the biggest things I have with, you know, with especially like, oh, well, I didn't get it in today, but that doesn't mean I'm done, you know?
Right.
But that motivation of, oh, I don't want to get those shoes on and go do it. Okay. Well, I also want to be able to get up off the floor in a couple years. So
I want to be able to put my shoes on and walk in 5 years. So I have to do it today. So I can do it in 5 years.
So that
years,
helps
15
me
years.
do the hard thing. Whereas if it was like, I'm just trying to fit into a dress, who cares? I'll buy a different dress, right?
Right.
Yep.
I know.
If I don't
My
fit
brain
into
knows
it, I'll
that.
buy another one.
Yeah, this is the only dress in the world.
Your brain's like, you're not tricking me. I know. I can just go buy another one.
Seriously. That's where if I'm like, people are like, well, do the thing and what's the reward? I'll buy myself a new, well, I'm just going to buy myself a new outfit
Right.
when I want to, not after I do, you know. So,
Money's not coming out of the treadmill for me to buy this outfit.
Right.
So, yeah.
All right. Well, that is a wrap.
Yes.
So we appreciate your time. Anytime you'd want to get out of going to church, just let us know and we'll get you on here. I'm just kidding.
Here for it.
All right. Thanks a lot. We'll be in touch. Appreciate
Thanks
it.
for having me.
All right.